8 of them things. 8 of them in a row. Knicks win once again. Never get tired of saying this. But welcome back to the Run.down post game show here on the Strickland YouTube channel, as well as Strickland podcast network. If you're listening afterwards, Knicks win 132-94, winning against Golden State at home for the first time since the magical 2012-13 season, where Steph Curry decided to drop his nuts on the Knicks in a loss. There was no Steph Curry today. There was no on Andrew Wiggins. There was not
Clay
a
Thompson
lot.
wasn't here either. Shit. He played. He wasn't
Basically,
here.
I mean, he had, what was it, 11 points, and it was a minus 28.
Again,
But yeah, I mean,
ask me if I care. I don't. We won 8 straight. The vibes are immaculate. They're fantastic. They're exquisite. And we keep winning. Cry.
and my son is back. I'm rocking the Emmanuel Quickly jersey for those who are not watching on YouTube. I'm rocking the Emmanuel Quickly jersey today because my son came out in 23 minutes, 22 points, 5 of 6 from 3. I mean, absolutely set the tone for the bench with his aggressiveness. He looked confident. He did not hesitate on anything. He just came out just lights out. Theories will go out as to why he was hooping. Some people are at the game that he might have been wanting to impress. We
The
won't get into
host.
that right now. We
The
won't get
host.
into that
It's
right now.
always for the. It's always for the host. Don't even think about it, man.
But yeah, I mean, he was part of like the larger impact of like the Knicks hot shooting today. And yeah, I mean, the Knicks, they were 42% from 3. Um really good shooting night from them. Not usually the case, but it was tonight. Quentin Grimes helped with that as well. 4 of 8 from 3. Brunson 2 of 5 from 3. And you know, Grimes and Brunson and Quickly, they all set the tone for tonight in terms of what type of game we were gonna get, and the Warriors just had no response for it. Um, they played a lot. They had no choice but to play a lot of James Wiseman, and thank God they did, because that definitely helped us a ton. And I was telling folks in DMs, I was like, "Yo, James Wiseman about to come in. We are about to be good. So like, do not even worry about like."
Dog. The way they hyped up that man,
They gave him a 5 minute propaganda, like,
bro.
sideline report, all that.
They
It
made it
was
seem like he was
gross.
getting it out the gutter. Like that man, he had to go to the G League. Like he in the G League because he's ass.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here? You got like one block. They were like, see, improvement. That's what the G League can do to you. And it's like, dude, he was ass. He was garbage. He did nothing on the court of relevance. Like he had 5 fouls in 22 minutes, 4 fouls before garbage time started to hit, and garbage time started really early this game. But like,
Very early, because Steve Kerr pulled the starters at like 11 minutes after. 11 minutes into the quarter, because like the Knicks just like blew up the game that quickly. I mean, it was already a rout, but I think that first like minute or
yeah,
so really set the tone, and Steve Kerr was like, all right, we got a back to back versus Brooklyn the next game. We're not gonna like risk injury or anything. And he pulled them, and that basically secured the win for the Warriors, right? I mean, for the Knicks right there. 8 straight. I mean, definitely. I mean, looking ahead at the schedule, we definitely have a chance to win out the rest of the year. To be honest, just looking
yeah,
ahead, I mean, after Christmas, it's like the Mavs, the Spurs, and the Rockets. All teams that we can and should beat. The Mavs, they're of course reeling without Jalen Brunson. The Spurs and Rockets are awful teams. But I mean, yeah, I mean, we can go into tonight's game. I mean, there's much to talk about, but there's also not much to talk about because it was a blowout. But there was so many good things
yeah.
as well. Yeah, I mean, once again, starting with Emmanuel Quickly, leading the night off with 22 points, hitting his threes, looking confident. Defense, of course, great as usual. variety of ways of scoring, not just threes. He was getting into the paint, letting off his floater, getting some and ones, just doing what he does best. It looked like tonight he like found that fair balance of he basically found what I was talking about last post game in terms of finding the fair balance between driving to the rim and like just pulling with reckless abandon like he did in his rookie year. And it was so much fun to see. I mean, every shot that he took and went in, I was just like screaming in my room because I was like, finally, like every time he goes on like one of these scoring streaks, it is like the most exciting like minutes of the game, I think. Like if it's not him and
Yeah.
Toppin, it's just like him just going on these scoring streaks. And they remind me of like when J.R. Smith used to get hot. And when J.R. Smith used to get hot, them shits
Yep.
used to be mad fun. So when
Yep.
quickly starts to get hot, that's what it feels like. Like he has those vibes.
Definitely, where it's just like, this guy is just going off and there's nothing you can do about it. And he's hitting all these threes and you just wetting it up in your face. And then like you drive into the paint, he's getting an and one on you. You don't know how he's doing it. Like when Deuce start to go off, okay, like low key, when like Grimes and IQ go off, you feel like Novak and JR a little bit.
Has those vibes.
But
Has
it's
those
like,
vibes.
it's great to see quickly find himself. I don't know what Bible study he went to. I don't know what pastor he went to. Maybe it was confessional. Who knows?
Nah, I
But
think it was Shorty who was sitting courtside with the orange afro.
son,
I don't blame him. I don't blame him. If that's who he was showing out for, I do not blame him. So
this is why I keep telling y'all, you hoop for the hose. And if you can't do it in front of the hose, you shouldn't be hooping. It was national TV. All the hose was out. Kate Upton in the city. Like, it's Madison Square Garden on a Tuesday night. You know what it is. The Warriors in
holiday
town.
season,
Holiday season.
Christmas vibes,
So
Hallmark movie vibes.
the hose bringing their hose, like it's extra hose in that hole. And what happened? He showed up, bright as the lights, and he did the job. That's all I can ask for Emmanuel quickly. I'm glad he found himself, and I hope this is consistent. I do not want him to put up another offer. For my sake, for everybody's sake, this bench's sake, you cannot put up any more offers. Give me a consistent. Just give me a consistent 44% shooting, bro. That's all I need. Give me a good 10, 12 points a night, solid splits, and just do what you do because this is his bench unit. This is his bench unit. Even when Obi gets back, Quickly is being asked to be the point guard. Quickly is asked to realistically be the sixth man on this team, and he's been getting done defensively. I think again he had another 2 steals on a block tonight. I think he was the only block we had tonight as well, which is crazy to think about.
Oh wow.
Yep. So that's all he needs to do is just give that fervor and that energy that he has a defensive end. Hopefully, he translates to his offense, and hopefully, he becomes more consistent. So,
yeah. Going on to the next player to talk about tonight, Jalen Brunson. Nice little calm 21 points, nothing too crazy. But I mean, he definitely like every time that he had the ball in his hands, I mean, I was very confident in what he was going to do and that he was going to score or he was going to make the right play. And it's just consistently that's like the feeling that we're getting with him. And it's just a relief to finally have that type of player on this team that can stabilize things like this. But yeah, he was just very steady tonight as well. And he has that feel of like he is your leader, he is your star guy. Like that's the type of vibe you get when he's on the court and he is in control of things, and it's just such a relief to have that.
He feels steady, and this franchise has needed steady for a long, long time. He was just great to have. That stretch in the second quarter when he went on a personal 9-0 run, that kind of felt like the team going up double digits, and
that's what really broke the game open.
Yep, and they had no answer for him, none whatsoever. And he just came in there and he was steady, and it was the quietest 21 of all time, but that's kind of what Brunson does. He'll drop 20, and you'd be like, wait, he dropped 20? Yep, that's what he does. Yeah, 21, 5 assists, another steal. I think he's had like 7 or 8 straight. I think he's had a steal in every game of the win streak so far, which is nuts to think about.
I mean, during the win streak, what's his 3-point percentage been? Because I feel like it's been
crazy.
I know
he's shooting like over 60% on pull-up threes during the win streak. I think he's also been at, I can check right now. It's not crazy, but like, yeah, he's definitely been shooting. I want to say upwards of 40%, probably closer to 50. But I'll get the numbers on what I can. But yeah, he's been hooping. He's been solid, and that's what you want to see him be.
Wow, shout out to Svi Mikhailuk, by the way.
Yeah, he had more points than Kevon
James
Looney
Wiseman
twice.
and Kevon Looney.
Now, bro, did you see Svi try to cock it back and yo?
I missed
We're
that.
like, he got
I had
fouled.
my head I had my head down when he did that. I didn't see
No,
that.
so like he literally tried to like two-hand jam it on some random Warriors bum, and I was like, no, he finna do it. He got fouled. He got the free throw line, but like, if he somehow pulled that off, you gotta give us the next win tomorrow. Like you can't threaten a man's life like that.
Yeah. I mean,
Okay. Also, he's been shooting 51% from three during the win streak.
wow. Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
it's been a big part of why the offense is a little bit even better now. And you're hoping tonight's 3-point shooting. I mean, we're obviously not going to shoot 42% from three every night, but you're hoping like this around like hovering around like maybe like 36-37% the team can shoot night to night. I mean, tonight once again Julius and RJ did not have it from three. But Miles McBride is starting to like get some offensive consistency.
Yeah.
And if that comes around, then like the bench is really cooking with gas, because if Quickly and McBride can like do that and then be great defensively, and then RJ is like helping them like steadily anchor the second unit alongside of them, that just brings the offense up even more levels.
Yeah, it was really encouraging to see Miles like find his stroke. His third career game with 10 points, which is really good to see. 2 of 5 from three. He hit a couple threes tonight. Just really appreciate that from him overall. Third best Afro in Madison Square Garden after Jericho Sims and Ice Spice. Uh, made me happy, made me smile. But yeah, it was just great to see Miles McBride again get into his groove. I really hope he can sustain it, man, because he's had a couple good offensive games on the stretch. A game that game in Charlotte especially, I want to talk about that one. That was a good one, but like this might have been his best offensive game of the winning streak so far. And I don't think it was a coincidence that it had something to do with Isaiah Hartenstein turning into Magic Johnson in the fourth quarter. Like,
Yeah.
Did you see the passes, bro?
I did.
He was like he caught on the short roll, hit a spin move to spin. Like, come on, man.
I mean, this is the type of stuff that we were anticipating when like we signed him, and like Dibs is just like, all right, be in Nerlens, please. Like, and everyone's like, no, like that's not his role. But yeah, I mean, like that fourth quarter really gave us a sneak preview of like what he can be if we utilize him in the right ways. And hopefully, you know, this is something that they can use going forward. It was very annoying though to hear Reggie Miller just keep saying Jokic of the East. It's like, all right, we get it.
I had fun with that. He was cooking with that. He said the jester. I was crying.
Reggie Miller.
That was a rare and good Reggie.
I said on Twitter, I cannot say what I want to say really about Reggie Miller, so I'll just keep it as Reggie Miller.
He was absolutely ass for 3/4 of that game, and like that foul from Ty Jerome and Quentin Grimes, where he tried to make it seem like Ty Jerome was persecuted. And he was like, "How is that an illegal closeout?" Or like, dude, he literally ran into Quentin Grimes and then tried to pull back. Quentin Grimes up there shooting, and he ran into the man's ankle. That is literally the play that Kawhi got like hurt on verbatim. And you're talking about what is he doing? You can't play defense, and that's not a closeout. And it's like, dude, the man's ankle just got rolled. Like, come on. And clearly, he's in the landing space.
And thankfully, he was okay, and he was able to come back and still produce. Speaking of Quentin Grimes, 4 of 8 from 3, 5 of 6 from the free throw line. So them free throw attempts, I like to see that. That means aggressively going to the basket.
Yep, 4 assists as well.
4 assists. I mean, look at the starting lineup. You have three guys with 5 assists apiece, and then you got him with four. Really great stuff. That means they're sharing the rock. I mean, there was this one play where Julius passed to Quentin. Quentin drove into the lane, kicked it out to IQ at the top of the key, wide open three. Perfect movement right there. Like that's the type of ball
Yeah.
movement that you want to see from the Knicks. It's the type of stuff that got us hype from last preseason, where like the Knicks look like the Spurs for certain games, where they were just like absolutely dishing the rock. And possessions like that, seeing that more often, you see that the team is like getting more cohesion together.
Yeah.
And they're just buying into like their roles fully, and like that's just really encouraging to see.
It's also encouraging to see quick Grimes finally have that quick trigger. After the last game, he felt a bit tentative. I
Yes.
think it felt like maybe somebody from the team or somebody from the coaching staff was like, "We need you to be aggressive tonight," and he responded in kind, which is what you want to see him do. Uh, can't say enough about him. He's been immaculate during this win streak. He has been such a steady presence, and you saw it tonight in his plus minus. He was a plus 33, which is by far the highest of the game. Like, there's not much you can do better than what Quickly did tonight. Not Quickly, Grimes did tonight. And he's starting to become one of those, like, one of the more prolific 3-and-D wings in the league. I think he's on the precipice of, like, really starting to garner that attention. I think he might be shooting close to 40% from three after that little bit of like shaking off the rust. He's easily probably towards like 84-85% of the line. His true shooting is probably like 65%. Like, I want people to put into perspective like how nuts that is. Like, not quickly, Grimes has essentially been like a significant positive. He has a net rating of 10.6. That's probably going to go up. So he's looking at 11, maybe 12. He's 65% true shooting, might be closer to 66 after tonight. 2-to-1 assist to turnover ratio, and he's damn near slashing 50. He's slashing 50, 40, 80. That is nuts. I don't think people understand how good Quentin Grimes is, and he's going to continue to get better because he could do stuff off the dribble. And now, if he's starting to get to the free throw line while also being able to do stuff off the dribble, while being such a spectacular finisher, because he's been finishing really well, like, sky's the limit for this kid. I'm so happy he's a Knick. And
Got him at 25. Shout out Walt Perrin.
Walt
Finding
Perrin,
gems.
Walt Perrin is having a special victory lap around the office. My man is literally
He's running up to dudes and saying, "I told you."
Nah, he is literally in the fucking. He's next to Leon Rose in the office, going, "Oh, like, son." My man has just been cooking with the board. He watching tape, going, "I'm about to do it again for this season." Like, every time Quickly scores, he'd be like, "That's me. That's me right there." Like,
It's crazy how many players we acquired at the picks that we got them at that are so much better than James Wiseman, who was picked number 2 overall. I tweeted that. I was like, "Yo, Jericho Sims, get him at 58, and he is like so far ahead of where James Wiseman is." He had 8 points tonight on 4-4 from the field, 7 boards, 3 offensive rebounds, including he had a tip slam, and then he had a tip in. But yeah, I mean, Jericho Sims once again, phenomenal, doing what he does best. And he's able to stay with guys on the perimeter. That's what makes him so, like, I think that's why Knicks fans are so high on him, is because he's able to do stuff like that, where he's like able to stay with guys on the perimeter. Because like that's the type of stuff that everyone got hyped about with Mitch early in his career. So they're getting the same vibes there. And like Sims is like also an incredible leaper too.
That one alley hoop where like he had enough extension to like kick his legs out before he came down with the dunk, dude. Like, I feel like a Sims alley hoop was happening like a game, like at least
it looks like it's a set designed play where like he goes behind the whole entire team and like cuts all the way back door. Like it looks like there's a bunch of motion going on towards like the paint and stuff, and like Sims just goes all around it and catches a lob. It looks like it's a set play that I think they run out of like a timeout or something. Um, but yeah,
And I'm like shocked teams are letting this happen still. But like, hey, I'll take it. I will take the 2 free points every time.
facts. I'm not complaining there. Julius and RJ, not the best shooting nights, I would say. But
Definitely.
they did pass the ball pretty well today. Limited the turnovers, both of them, I think, even though Julius had three. Still much better in terms of like handling what the defense gave them. I thought they didn't really force things. There was a stretch where RJ took over in the third quarter, where he had, I forgot how many straight buckets. It was like 4 or 5 straight buckets.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, he was doing it in a variety of ways. He got like some faders. He hit some bank shots. He got into the lane. Just showing off a variety of moves, and that's always encouraging. And it was great that he only had to play 31 minutes tonight. Great for all of our guys that they didn't have to play so much minutes. So yeah,
Yeah. This was a great game to like get rest. They were playing bottle flip on the bench. Um yeah, I don't think Brunson played the entire yeah, nobody I think none of the starters played the entire fourth. And it was literally just like the bench unit just cooking up. And the bench unit extended the lead as well. I think the lead was like 20, and then they won by nearly 40. The bench won the fourth quarter 32-13. I think that kind of shows you how bad the Warriors bench is, how bad the Warriors are in general.
yeah. I mean, they're playing James Wiseman
Yeah, like
22 minutes. So like, yeah,
man, like I didn't know half the dudes who played for the Warriors tonight,
yeah. They had
and
like
like yeah, like
Ryan Rollins out there and stuff like that, and
they had
Patrick Baldwin Jr.
they had Anthony Lamb getting minutes. I was like, who is this? Ty Jerome was the only one who had like a decent cook up.
I thought he was about to get like absolutely baked by Ty Jerome tonight because like he had like those 9 points in the first half, and I was like, oh my gosh, like don't tell me Ty Jerome's gonna be the one to kill us today. But thankfully we smoked the hell out of them. We don't have
Yeah,
to hear nothing about no Ty Jerome, how he's from, wherever he's from. I think he went to school in New York somewhere, whatever it is. Um,
I
yeah,
know he went to Virginia and he like won a state championship, but like
yeah, I think he went to high school in like Iona or something like that.
oh
Yeah, so I don't want to hear about like how he's from the New York area or whatever, and whatever it is. But glad we took care of business. People are gonna say it's an undermanned Golden State squad. Who cares? We still won. We spanked the shit out of them, and we got Toronto coming up, right?
yeah, Toronto tomorrow. And Toronto lost to this team, and they got blown out by this team, and then they
Badly.
lost to the Sixers in overtime. And now you're looking at the Knicks, who are decently rested from not having to play the fourth quarter, and the Toronto Raptors are in free fall, and they don't play a center.
To the
So
paint. To the paint. Game plan to the paint.
I want to say,
RJ to the paint. Julius to the paint.
like,
Mitch, I need to see 2020. A 20-20 game. Christian Koloko, who?
man, bro, if
Like,
Christian Koloko ain't giving nobody buckets, all right,
exactly.
nobody's getting Christian Koloko, bro. But like, yeah, I think that's a game we try to look to take advantage of their size, their lack of size. Fred VanVleet is playing like he wants to be a Laker because he'll fit right in with that team. Um, yeah, I probably starting to look ahead early tomorrow, but like, ain't really much to talk about. So like,
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
with these blowouts, I
I
guess
love it. I love it though. I love winning
yeah,
by
I'm
double digits.
I'm not going to complain by comfortable wins where we get to see the young players and other guys just do random shit that we normally wouldn't see them do. So like, yeah.
Like we might start making parlays on the pod now. About to have a shooter parlay.
Oh man, let's not do that because I will get too into it, and yeah. But yeah, before we get into comments, time for everybody's favorite part of these shows. All right. The NBA is heating up, just like the Knicks are heating up. When I'm looking to get in on the action, I bet with DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. New customers can bet just $5 pregame money line on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. Check this out. Right now, everyone can earn up to 100% boost with DraftKings stepped up same game parlays. Go to the DraftKings Sportsbook app, place a same game parlay, and combine multiple bets like which team will win, total rebounds, and more. The more legs you add, the bigger the boost, the bigger your shot to win big. Download the app now. Sign up with code TBPN, as you see on the corner of your screen if you're watching on YouTube. Place a $5 pregame moneyline bet on any NBA team to win their game and get $150 in free bets if they do. That's code TBPN only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes or show description for details. All right. Comments. Blank starting us off. Brother Svi confirmed his brother's status with that dunk attempt. Now I gotta see this dunk attempt now because I didn't see it, and now I want to see it. So I'm gonna look
I
this
don't,
up
if
and
you
see what
find it,
comes
bro,
up. If I can find it, I don't know if anyone
like
like really.
it was like it looked filthy in the moment.
Like
I wish it was filthy
I see the three. I don't see the dunk.
because like he got fouled on it.
I don't see the
So
dunk attempt. Yeah,
yeah, I
I'm
don't
not
think you're gonna
seeing
be
it.
able to see it because he got fouled on it. But it was filthy in the moment. You might have to like get it on a rewatch.
Oh, I ain't gonna rewatch this game for to find a speed dunk.
Yeah, I
If someone finds it and you tag me on Twitter, y'all know my at. It's right there on the screen.
watched.
It's right there on the screen. So y'all could tag me in it if y'all see it, if y'all find it. But I ain't see it. Shout out brother Svi. You know, everyone. If you know why he's called brother Svi. If you don't, you will know. Um, Chris Barnhart says Shaq and Chuck trying to bring up the Nets when talking about the Knicks was so pathetic. Kenny just trying to talk about improvement in Shaq's and they're like they ain't better than Team X. Yeah, this is why I hate when our games are on national TV because it's like it's not like we're not taken serious. And I'm not asking us to be talked about like we're contenders, but like we're the hottest team in the league. Like, can you at least like pretend to like care like somewhat about the team that you have on your broadcast today? Like
It was like
all they talked about was the Warriors and like what they need to improve, how they should play without Steph. They talked to Draymond. What's the game plan without Steph? Didn't talk to any Knicks players. Didn't mention the Knicks at all. Basically, didn't talk about like, oh, they improved by adding young guys to their rotation that they've drafted with their new front office, and how those players have developed and how they're playing well and how the defense has improved under these players and how Jalen Brunson should be an all-star. These are all topics that you can talk about the Knicks. No one's telling you to talk about them like they're a contender. Just talk about them like they're one of the better teams that are playing right now in the league. That's it.
yeah, it's just I'm not asking people to like hype up the team and make them sound like they're not. Like they're a playoff team, a good playoff team, and that's
Our
fine.
job is to hype them up like that. Like we're not
Exactly.
asking national media to do that.
I'm about to talk about this team if they did 99 Knicks tomorrow at work. Like that's what I do. But like a modicum of respect to just be like, hey, they're playing well. The rotation changes have been really solid. And like, shout outs to Kenny because at least Kenny was trying to do that. But like, they were like,
Yeah.
like they're not even the best team in the state. And it's like, okay, we know that, but they're
We're not
still a good
supposed to be.
team.
Like they have Katie and Kyrie. They're obviously supposed to be better than us. Like
Exactly. Like the Knicks have been able to put together a fun young team with 2 all-star potentials and a bunch of young guys hooping their asses off. Like you can find something to talk about there.
yeah,
It's not that deep, man.
yeah. But TNT and national and TV, they are going to national TV. And I called it too. Like I called it. I mean, it was so obvious. Anyone could have called it really, but like I called it as soon as I saw that clip. I was like, we're gonna have Reggie, and Reggie is just gonna talk a bunch of bullshit the whole night. And that's exactly what happened. Because I thought maybe, just maybe, we might get Stan. Maybe we might get Stan tonight. Maybe Stan would have been way more bearable. way more
bro.
bearable.
Dude, Reggie was like, he was just talking about Steph Curry and Jordan
Couldn't stop
Poole,
munching the Warriors.
Wiseman. He gave Wiseman a soliloquy, bro. Like, what are we doing here? And like, and then like to his credit, he talked about Grimes a decent amount today, which was like, all right, cool, I'll give you that. But like,
Didn't talk about anyone else. We could give a
dude,
fuck about who else
like,
was on the Knicks.
bro,
Like,
he was. Oh yeah, yeah, they got the best defense since the win streak started. Anyway, back to Wiseman.
and how Wiseman had, like, just walked 3 miles without, tripping over his own 2 feet. Like, congrats.
And like Draymond Green had to walk 7 miles to school every day so he could get it out of the mud. Like it was just nasty pandering. Like they gave Steph Curry the second quarter interview while the game was on. They get blown out. And you got Steph Curry talking about, yeah, like my injury.
Talking about golf and shit. Like, I don't give a fuck. I don't. Talk about the Knicks. They're on a 8 game win streak. Like, show us our damn respect, please. Just a little bit.
That's all we want. Just treat us like we a damn good team.
I can't wait to see what they're going to talk about on Christmas, like when we're whatever, how many games into the win streak.
Joel Embiid's charity.
Like, oh my
21 free throws.
That game is probably going to be very nasty with the free throws, the way the refs have been going this year.
Oh my, bro.
That's the one thing I'm not looking forward to at all.
I know. That game going to be like 4 hours. Bro, Julius free throws, Joel Embiid free throws,
Jalen Brunson,
RJ Barrett free throws, James Harden free throws, and they might throw in Tobias. They might give Tobias Harris a couple of ones for Christmas. Like we might take like 100 free throws between both teams. It might be filthy.
It's gonna be nasty. ZMP323 says Jalen Brunson absolutely deserves to be an all-star. He's unreal. Tyrese is right. The vibes are immaculate. Yes, they are. He does. I mean, all-star voting has opened today. If you haven't already, submit your ballot. Put Jalen Brunson as the point guard. They took away social media voting because, Warriors fans abused the hell out of it with BTS stands. So thank Warriors fans for ruining for all of us and for getting rid of one of the easiest ways to vote. So thank you, Warriors fans. We beat your ass as a thank you for it. Stupid fans. How do you ruin the most easy way to vote? What? How? How did you ruin the most easy way to vote? Now people got to go click a link and click all these icons. Like, it's mad difficult now for, like, especially like people like me that don't want to do all this clicking and shit. Like, I just rather, type it out, hashtag NBA All-Star, and get on with my day. I don't have time for this. I'm a teacher. I don't got time to be clicking links.
I can't use my phone at work, and I got to go sign into my account. Like, bro, it's just whack. Like, at that point, you might as well just forget it. Just forget the All-Star. Just literally forget the trying to ballot it. Like, just let it be coaches at this point. But like, that's just whack, bro. I don't want to. They're gonna bring it back next year because nobody's gonna do this shit. They're gonna have to bring it back next year.
They have to.
And they're gonna have to be like, okay, you have to retweet this tweet or whatever, something. But like, yeah, I don't want to fucking sign into shit just to vote.
Yeah,
and that means you only get like one vote a day, which is annoying.
Yep.
Oh, Jeff Green had a poster.
Jeff
Green had. Oh my god. Oh god, he about to eat until he 40 off that. Oh.
Yeah. Whew. That game is gross, by the way. All these blowouts in the league, it's crazy, by the way. I mean, I'm not complaining about blowouts in Knicks games, but like blowouts league wide have been an epidemic this year.
National Blowout Association, you know what it is.
I do, unfortunately. Jordan Bub says Brunson is him. Emmanuel Quickly is still him. RJ with strong third quarter after a tough first half. Grimes, lethal sniper who put clamps on Poole. Yeah, I thought he did a pretty good job on Poole. Poole still got his numbers, which he's gonna do because I mean, there's literally no one else to score on this team for the Warriors, so like he had to put up some type of numbers. But I thought Grimes did a pretty good job of like staying with him, especially as someone that like moves a lot in this type of offense. Grimes had to like fight over screens, which he's always done a great job of, and moving off ball. I think Grimes was great at paying attention. There were times where he had to switch and stuff like that, but I thought he did a pretty good job overall. He's been a pretty great defender all year. I saw a metric today that like measured like he is the person in the league that takes that has the most often. He's the person that most often guards the other team's best player. So yeah, I mean, shout out to Grimes. He is our 3-and-D guy that was promised to us.
Like he won't make any all defensive teams, but like he deserves to be. Like he deserves to be in the conversation right now. I feel like he won't get it because he missed time in the season. But like I feel like if the Knicks really start to like establish themselves and like the defense is this good, like somebody's got to get votes from this team. And if it's not going to be Mitch, it's got to be Grimes. Like this is what happened in the We Hear year, where like the team was like the fourth best defense and nobody like was getting votes. And it's like, okay, well, somebody's gonna be doing the defending, bro. But you would give it to Kawhi Leonard and shit. Like, I hope there's some respect on voting.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
really do.
he's someone that like he looks the part of the defender. The thing is, like when during the We Hear year, we didn't have anyone that like really looked the part of like a defender the way that Grimes defends. So he might get that like graciousness, and you already got guys like JJ Redick on his podcast that are like giving him props. And JJ Redick's like technically like national media now because he's on ESPN and shit. So like
True.
if he's someone that's like noticing that and giving his props to Grimes and Deuce, like he literally named those two as like part of the reason why the Knicks defense has improved during this win streak. So if he's someone that's like noticing that and giving them props, I mean, it could happen for Grimes where he gets, a couple votes here and there and maybe even gets like some serious consideration if this continues for the rest of the year. Because yeah, I mean, he has been that good of a defender where like the Knicks defense is like heavily like reliant on him and Mitch, really those two being the backbone, and then the other three they've started giving consistent effort on a nightly basis, so the defense is really locked in. So
Yeah,
but it starts with Grimes and Mitch though.
yeah. I hope they get some respect from the voters. And speaking of the defense, real quickly, like those rotations tonight, crisp.
There
Like,
was this one possession where they
mm-hmm.
got Ty Jerome to like travel, but like
Yep.
they were moving their feet, they were switching, they were stunting and recovering. It was just like perfect. Like guys were like rolling to the basket, guys were like dropping, but like quickly getting back to their man. It was just like absolutely beautiful defense.
RJ was hitting like spin moves to get away from like screens and shit. I was like,
Yeah, I
yo,
was.
what you on?
they was moving different than on defense.
I was like, I had never ever seen you hit a spin move to get out of a screen. Look at you go. Dude's been in the lab teaching him some shit. Oh my god. But yeah, like the defense has just been incredible. They've been stingy, they've been getting after it. They've been securing the boards as well. That was the big thing where like they're ending possessions with one shot. Um the They only had 4 offensive rebounds tonight, the Warriors did, compared to the Knicks having 14. So that shows you that shows you like how much they get after it on the boards. Um, More assists than the Warriors. Just they got it. They got after it tonight, and it's great to see them get after it on a consistent basis the way they have been. Like 5 guys had at least two offensive rebounds. That's really promising.
Yeah. All right. Let's see our next comment. Chris Barnhart says Wiseman nothing more than a hyped up Cole Aldrich. That's being generous, honestly. Shout out Cole Aldrich. He's definitely gonna have a longer career than what James Wiseman is gonna have. I mean,
He,
James Wiseman doesn't have long in this league. This guy's
he
absolutely terrible. I
yeah,
mean, watching him as an outsider is hilarious, but like if he was legitimately on my basketball team, I'd probably like allegedly commit crimes.
bro. Like you go to like a Warriors Twitter is a weird place, and like they be acting like he's not John Henson with an afro. They be like, there's an all NBA player in there somewhere, and I'm like, bro, what are you watching? He's 7 foot and uncoordinated. That's it. Like I'm gonna keep harping back to this. Like he was ass in high school. He was absolutely ass in high school. Like he was inefficient ass in high school, and the only reason why he got hype was because he was tall as shit. He was tall as shit and bigger than shit, and he would dunk over everybody in high school. But even still, he wasn't like he thought he was Dirk or KG. Like he literally thought he was KG because like he was trying to keep doing all this shit with like the step back middies and shit and the threes, and it's like no, he's not the kind of guy. And now he's in the league, and it's like, well, I get he was injured, but like rookie year he wasn't that good. He missed the second year out due to injuries. Hey, at least he got his ring. At least he got his ring. So like you can eat off that forever. You can say I'm an NBA champion forever, but like Bob from accounting is not gonna cure. And that's where you're heading, bro.
Nope, they will not. Almost time for that CDL.
Mm-hmm.
RR says, did y'all know Hartenstein was Jokic of the East? Reggie Miller needs to be exiled from
Son,
society.
the passes was nuts.
Nah, passes was crazy.
Bro,
Passes was
he
crazy.
did the 360 spin to
That one
Sims,
was
who was cut out
fire.
of the corner, and he looked at the camera too, and he knew it was sweet. He was like, and I was like, yeah, you deserve that one.
He knew Wiseman was sweet. He knew
Yeah,
Wiseman was sweet.
he
He could do whatever he
posterized him.
wanted.
He dunked on him.
He knew he
Like,
could do whatever he wanted. And those were his only points of the night.
yeah, my man, he had the he happy to be here stat line for like 10 minutes, and then he decided the fourth quarter I'm about to turn it on, and he was doing the touchdown pass. He was doing big to big lobs, throwing it to dude, throwing it off the backboard. Like,
They need to do this more often. I mean, like, obviously it's not gonna happen in blowouts, but like this is stuff that like we expected to see from him when we got him. So like it would be nice to see it like more often. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a lot of great things. I mean, I feel like the Knicks still haven't hit their offensive ceiling. I mean, Quickly still has not, been consistent offensively. Deuce is still rounding into form. Sims, we haven't used Sims the right way still. I mean, tonight we finally got a glimpse of that. RJ hasn't hit threes really yet. Like, I feel like those are all things that if they start to happen, they all will lead to like a compounding of the Knicks offense just like skyrocketing.
oh shit, Tim sat down this game. Oh
Yeah,
shit.
I saw the quote. I saw the tweet from Popper just now, and then Julius said he's never seen that in his 3 years here.
Son.
It was that bad
Oh,
of a beatdown. He he
oh,
had he had no choice. He couldn't stand up and say anything. Like, what is he gonna say? Like, keep it up, keep it up. Like, they're like beating the shit out of the Warriors.
oh shit, they sweet. oh, they really sweet. Tom Thibodeau decided to take a breather. He was too tired from whooping y'all asses. Oh my god. Yeah, this team is immaculate right now. We might go all the way. Oh my god. Oh, I love this game. I really do. When the Knicks are good, life is better. Oh shit! I didn't even notice that. Oh
Hug Life with an important question: do you listen to Ice Spice music?
yes,
Um, that Bikini
Munch,
Bottom song is fire.
bro. Munch. I need y'all to stop acting like Munch wasn't good. Y'all acting like Munch wasn't good, and y'all literally in the back of your house going like this every time you hear it, because that shit is catchy and you know it's catchy.
It's catchy, but Bikini Bottom was better. I'll say that.
Yes, it was, but still, like they both catchy, they both heat. Like even that song where she's like, "You from the X, so I know you dirty." That's a weird ass beat, but I rock with it anyway. Like y'all go put some respect on Ice Spice and Glorilla. F and Anthem. Stop playing with it.
Jordan Bob with another important question. What would happen when Obi comes back from injury? I mean, that is very interesting. I think he just slots back into like where Sims is at, though.
Yeah.
I mean, ideally, you would like to like see I mean, I got no problems with, anybody inserting and exiting the lineup, to be honest. But like, Sims is really fun too. Like, why can't we have both?
Man, all I'm hearing is this boy play Obi at the 3 and put Sims and Hartenstein on the roster, and let's take it back to the 90s with this shit.
Oh my gosh.
I
Do
need
not give Dibs any ideas, because
Nah. If quickly and IQ, it quickly and Dude's gonna be shooting the way they were shooting, and Obi gets into his like October Duffy with it. Fuck it, let's go.
that's like looking at 156 offensive rating right there. You got that right there.
Exactly, with like a 90 defensive rating, because we ain't gonna let nobody get no points. That rating about to be off the hook. I need it.
Oh my
Oh, give it
god.
to me expeditiously. I need Obi can shoot like 36% from three the way he was shooting beforehand. Finger licking good. Cause we go boat race teams. You can put that.
If Obi could get back to like catching teams off guard on like the like semi like fast breaks,
Yeah,
like the way like Brunson found RJ in stride after like an inbound to just like quickly push it up. If you could find like Obi on stuff like that too, like ooh.
bro. I'm telling you, bro. You put Obi Toppin shooting 36% from three, and Emmanuel quickly being league average shooting against 96 Bulls. I swear to God, we come out on top.
Nah, but like that one play where I just mentioned where Jalen found RJ, I was like so happy to see that because like I feel like we've never done things like that, like off an inbound, just like push it and like catch a team off guard like the way the Warriors were. And like I feel like that's something that we've done a little bit more this year that we have never done before. And that's a credit to Jalen Brunson, of course, and like his ability to just like push the pace. So again, once again, shout out to Jalen Brunson for bringing a new dynamic to the Knicks team this year.
Man, if that man isn't an all-star, something has gone wrong. Something has gone wrong. I don't want to hear about no Trae Young, bro. Trae Young is putting it up like he's shooting sub 30% from three. I don't want to hear anything about Trae Young needs to be an all-star. He does not. He doesn't deserve it. Not here. That is Brunson and Brunson alone.
Yeah. Yup. Virgil X is when is Obi coming back? I forgot what his initial timetable was for his injury.
I think like he has to get they said like 2 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks, but I think that was for like to re-examine his injury.
Okay,
Yeah, they
so
said
yeah,
reevaluated in 2 to 3 weeks, and that was December 8th. So you're
it's
probably
gonna
looking at the new
be
year.
it's
You're
gonna be
probably
in
looking at the new year.
January, mid to late January. He probably comes back.
Yeah, which means that another month of Sims and Hartenstein locking up the perimeter. 90s Knicks is back. The vibes are immaculate. I just need Sims to start taking threes. If Sims take a three, it's over. That's all I need. I need our
Does
senses
he
to
have
stop
that in the
being.
bag?
Bro, I don't care. We up 30. Take a three. You think Tim's gonna get mad at you? Tim's is sitting down on the bench. He chilling. Take a three.
Oh my gosh.
I need Mitch Robinson to take a three.
All right. All right.
I need it. Ah.
Jordan Bub says QG is so special that even Reggie Miller, Nick hater for life, gave him praise. Yeah,
Yeah.
he had no choice. I mean, you gotta appreciate greatness, and I think he respects Grimes as a shooter, and he's always gonna give praise to shooters. So
Where's that photo of like him and Ray Allen and like Reggie? I need to find that photo because that's how I felt tonight. That was like Reggie Miller going, "Oh, he just like me when I was younger." I mean, like hell, dude. Quentin Grimes he's good, man. He's a good ass shooter. And you got Moses Moody playing, and you could have Quentin Grimes. That's gotta hurt.
I
A
just
lot of
remember,
a lot of teams gonna be upset that they didn't get Quentin Grimes.
good. It's about time. It's about damn time other teams feel bad about not drafting a player, and like we don't have to be that team that feels bad about it. Like
Yeah, we deserve that.
we do, because I'm tired of hearing about, oh, you guys passed on this guy. Nope. I need to hear how teams passed on Quentin Grimes and Deuce McBride and Jericho Sims went at 58. You know how many teams could use a Jericho Sims? I could think of one. Golden State. They could use one, but instead they got who? James
James
Wiseman.
Wiseman.
And they used a fucking #2 overall pick on him.
And literally everybody was telling you don't do it, bro.
They could
That
have LaMelo
entire
Ball.
that entire draft cycle,
Stupid.
everybody was like, "Why would you do this?" LaMelo Ball's right there. Halliburton's right there. Hell, the Knicks they should like literally if that deal with the Knicks for like 8 and 27 were available with Mitchell Robinson was on the table and they did not take it, bro, they're like idiots. But like they were able to remedy it because they won a championship, so like it doesn't matter. But like,
Yeah, they're Teflon.
yeah, But like their drafting has been suspect outside of Poole and like the big three. I mean, Kevon Looney's alright, but like, come on, dude, y'all can't draft.
All right, so I guess we're looking ahead to the next game with these comments coming up. Ace Bouchard says Sims gonna eat against the Raptors and their tiny wingspans. That could be a good Sims game. Could be. It reminds me of when Obi had such a good game against the Raptors. I forgot, was it last year or the year before? I think it was last year.
Last year.
Last year, Obi had like 19 versus the Raptors.
Yeah, like 19 and 10.
Yeah, so like that could be a good game for Jericho Sims because Jericho is kind of playing the Obi role in a way. At least on offense with like the cutting and like getting stuff at the basket. He's not as aggressive offensively as Obi is because he can be a bit passive in terms of like when he gets an offensive rebound or when he gets close to the basket. He's not necessarily always looking for a shot, but he could have an Obi type game. And hopefully he does because, you know, that'll be fun to display against the Raptors, another team that could use a center like Jericho Sims, but has refused to draft centers for God knows what reason over these last couple years. But yeah, I mean, it would be great to, you know, have Jericho Sims do some shit like that against, you know, the Raptors, who I would love to see their downfall.
I think one of the centers goes for double digits tomorrow. Like I think one of the centers will absolutely go for like double digits. It might be Mitchell or it might be Sims, but I feel like one of them goes off for like 10 plus.
They should. And like that should be part of the, I don't want to say it should be part of the game plan in terms of like we're force feeding guys, you know, like in the paint, but like it should be like something that is a little bit featured more versus a team like this. Like I think certain nights against certain opponents the game plan should change in terms of like what do we do just a little bit more to throw off a team.
Yeah. Also, the Knicks are 7th in defense and 8th in overall net rating. So
nice. Nice. This is what a win streak will do for you. It will bump up your, you know.
Yep, all your averages are looking pristine. The team is firmly in their conversation of being like a top 10-ish team. They're on the precipice of being a top 10 team, I think. Maybe like one more good week, and I feel like you can put themselves in the conversation of being like a very, very good team. The problem is they're a good team, but all the other good teams are in the East. So sucks, but
yeah. All right. So Jordan Bubbs asks, what would be the plan to contain Pascal and clearance aisle great value Drake? Wow, that was woof.
that was personal. That was personal.
That was rough. But I mean, in terms of Pascal had a great game against the Sixers the other day. 38 points, 15 rebounds,
6 or 7 assists. Like he was going crazy. I watched that game. Like he was literally
crazy.
It was him against the Sixers, bro.
Yeah, it was him versus the Sixers because I mean Fred had a stinker. Scotty Barnes has not been himself.
Scotty Barnes needs the diamond tester immediately.
Like it's just been bad for the for the Raptors lately. And you know they're on a like what is it 6-game losing streak, so they're gonna be hungry. That's one thing. We know they're not gonna just come in and lay down and die, or maybe they might. I don't know, like maybe, but I don't expect them to. The Raptors have always been an interesting matchup for the Knicks over the years. We've always either competitive games or they just been straight blowouts. We did have that one game where OG Anunoby absolutely fried the hell out of us in MSG. Points. So definitely want to get back for that. And you know, it would sting even more if you know they lose very badly too. But in terms of like containing Pascal, I mean, Pascal is someone that's always going to be someone that like thrives in the paint and mid range. And I think the way that our defense has been locked in so far, I think that like Mitch will be able to, you know, hold his own. I think they've been playing Pascal at center, right? So like, it's gonna be Mitch. I mean, it's probably gonna be Mitch either matched up against him or they might match up Julius with him. I don't know. But either way, I think that like just stopping him at the rim is just going to be the main thing, and I think we'll be able to do a pretty good job at that. With all the rim protectors that we have, as well as guys that just like are starting to take pride on the defensive end. In terms of Fred VanVleet, I think having Jalen Brunson on him will work just fine. I don't think there's a reason to like switch things up with like Grimes or anything like that, because I think Grimes will be better used, especially with like size on Gary Trent Jr. or an OG Anunoby. So like I think that's where Grimes will be used. Maybe use him on Fred. I don't know personally, but like
Yeah, I think where I'm at right now is I think to start the game they probably put Mitch on Siakam. They probably will put Julius on OG. And then I think you could get away with putting Grimes on Fred. And then have like RJ on Scotty, and then Brunson on. I don't even know who's starting for them. I actually don't even know who's starting for them with Gary Trent hurt. I'll check it out. But like, yeah, whoever their weakest offensive player is, I'd probably just put Brunson on them.
So their starting lineup last game was Fred, Scotty, OG, Siakam, and Hernangomez.
Yeah, you can. Okay, so I probably put
weird ass lineup.
RJ on Wancho then, and then I would probably put Brunson and Scotty, because I don't expect Scotty to like have the jumper. So
or be aggressive. It's like he just hasn't been aggressive this year at all. So it's like at that point you just dare him to like beat you.
Yeah, like if you're daring Scotty Barnes to beat you, I feel like you're in a good spot.
Yeah, at this point in the season. All right. Virgil X says happy with the Knicks as is, or Knicks need to make a move to go deeper in the playoffs. I'm happy with the Knicks as is. I mean, I don't think they'll make any like significant moves. Tyrese thinks they'll make a move to like get another guy. I'm not
just for like rotation purposes. Whatever they consolidate into, like with Cam or whatever, I wouldn't be surprised if like they toss out a couple seconds and like got a dude they can like bring in off the bench if they absolutely need like in the rotation. Like I think the 9-man rotation is nice. I don't think they stick with it the entire season because like at some point like you have to think about preserving people's bodies, and I wouldn't be surprised if they like, for example, like if the Lakers were in delusional, could you call them up and be like, yo, Cam Reddish for Lonnie Walker, like, how interested would you be in that? And I mean, Lonnie Walker makes a lot of sense. Like, you don't need to re-sign him afterwards. You can if you want to. He's still only 24. But that's a, like, okay, we need bench scoring. We got bench scoring. And we also, like, keep an eye towards the future. So maybe something like that. Something to, like, just get some cheap bench scoring in just in case Quickly can't, like, find his consistency. But I wouldn't be surprised if he was able to find his consistency sooner rather than later.
Yeah. I mean, I'm happy with the Knicks as is, though. I mean, whether they make a move to add another guy or not, it's gonna be interesting to see who becomes available, because like a lot of teams look like they can just become sellers, and like you never know what kind of like guy you can buy low on, and like he becomes a contributor to you late in your season. So that's always the interesting and fun part of these seasons in the NBA. Things change very quickly. And you never know where your team may find themselves on that side. So, like who knows if like the Knicks buy low on, I don't know, throw any random name out there like that maybe on a team that's trying to sell or whatever. Like, I don't know. But yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean though. Like, again, like we've heard like Eric Gordon. We've heard if we could get Burks back, I think they would, but we can't get Burks back because we can't trade him and then require him in the same season per CBA rules.
Whack.
Which is whack because Burks is literally the perfect person for this lineup right now. You could play McBride, you could play Quickly, and he gives you like the dribble pass shooting while being 6'7". he literally would be so perfect with this team right now, man. We got to free him next year. Plus, he even hoop it. Like, you saw Brick's stats? Bro, Brick's put in like 14 on like 61 true shooting.
Because I mean, the Pistons aren't asking him to be their starting point guard.
Son is hooping for whatever reason.
Like he's being asked to come off the bench and be a bench guy. Like he should have been in New York.
Dog, he's an enigma. Long live Alec Burks, bro.
Alec Iverson.
He really about to be a Knicks next year. They're gonna bring him back.
Ace Bouchard. He said Wiseman plays like Shaq if the Monstars stole his powers.
That's being generous to the Monstars.
Yeah. Jordan Bob asks you, what are your thoughts on Grady Dick and Bob Miller?
Okay, I haven't seen much Bob Miller yet, so I don't have much else on that. But Grady Dick is probably the best shooter in this draft by a good margin, and I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks take him, like because he feels like he'll be in the Knicks range, and like that shooting is real, and he's like 6'8", might be 6'9", so I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks take him. It's just a matter of like, can his defense be passable enough to like get him significant minutes on the court, and do you want to pay him his second contract? Because we've seen like these shooter types get paid and then they lose their powers, like Duncan Robinson, Davis Bertans, to a lesser extent Evan Fournier. Like you pay these one-dimensional shooter types, and then like their second contract comes, and you're like, we don't want to pay him anymore. And shooting is the most preeminent skill in the league. You could always find decent shooting. So how valuable is it to like give a guy that much capital? Like spending a first round pick on him, sure. Paying him, I don't know if you want to do that, but we shall see.
With a name like that, he has to be white. Like there's no way that's a black guy named Grady Dick.
He's white.
Okay.
He's white. He is Asher Roth white. Like,
yeah, I'm thinking like there's no way there's a black guy named Grady Dick. Like he would have got fucking roasted at school. I mean, the white guy probably did too, but like black guy, your name Grady Dick? Hell no.
He played like.
Sorry if you're black out there and your name is Grady Dick, by the way, like by some odd chance.
Like he legitimately plays the way Jack Harlow raps.
Okay, that's not encouraging at all.
But like
that's not okay. That's not encouraging. Like, that was a bad analogy if you want to say he hoops.
Look, I mean, I'm not wrong. He hoops. He shoots. It's just a matter of like, how good is that going to be for this? For what this team wants for the future. So we shall see.
This is probably gonna be the last comment if no one asks any other questions. Okay, so we got a couple more. Okay, Virgil X asks, can the Knicks really sustain things with no real backup four? I feel Sims has been doing a pretty good job of just, knowing where to be on offense good enough that he can be the backup four in this short-term role. Because Obi's not out the whole year. Like he'll be back. So like we'll have a backup four again. But Sims has done a pretty great job of being that backup four, trying to do the things that Obi does. And even defensively taking a step further in terms of being able to stay on the perimeter with guys when he's switched. So I feel like he's done a pretty great job at being a backup four. So even though he's a five, but yeah, I mean, he doesn't have the shooting ability that an Obi has at the backup four spot, but it hasn't really hindered his offensive capabilities or his ability to stay on the court. So yeah.
Yeah, like, I think they're fine until Obi gets back. So I wouldn't really look into it too much. And if Quickly and McBride can shoot the way I think we expect them to shoot, then it's perfectly okay.
Yeah. Jordan Bob, we're gonna end this off with your last question. Who would you want on Knicks roster, Carmelo Anthony or Alec Burks?
Alec Burks, not even a question. Carmelo Anthony needs to be a family man.
Carmelo Anthony is like, all right, like if you want to like give him like the last spot on like the roster with like absolutely no intention of playing him for just like nostalgia reasons, like then maybe yeah, sure, but like in terms of like producing, like Alec Burks for sure because like he's still able to produce at a high level off the bench when being utilized correctly at Thibs.
Yep. No qualms there.
And I think on that note, we will end things off. We will catch you guys tomorrow as the Knicks are on a back to back. Thankfully, Knicks are still at MSG. Keep the home, keep the good vibes rolling at home. Hopefully, we can extend this streak to 9. You know, and we will see where it goes from there. Shout out to everyone that pulled up, left a comment, left a question, vibed with us as the Knicks have won their 8th straight game. You know, just great vibes here. And we're gonna continue it as the Knicks keep winning, as the Knicks keep utilizing their young talent to win games. I saw something today. It was like from the other day, but during this win streak, average age of the rotation of the Knicks was like 23 point something. So Knicks have fully leaned into this youth movement, and it is producing wins, as many a Knick fan have said time and time again. Thibs has finally listened to the Knicks fans, which JJ Redick and his guy Tommy Alter gave Knicks fans credit for on his podcast. He said Knicks fans they've been calling for this. So shout out to him, shout out to them. They know what's up. They know the real. They know Knicks fans know ball, no hoop. But yeah, we will be back tomorrow. Tune in. Make sure y'all leave a like, subscribe. Helps us out a ton as we are on the way to 1K subs. Everything Strickland related is in the description. And we are also on Instagram at thestrick.land. Great way to get your Knicks fix on Instagram if you are not on any other social media platform. We will catch you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. Have a good day tomorrow. Peace out.